Hey, you perverts. Yeah, I'm talking about you. Do you want to add some new spanking material to your movie library? I bet you do. Well then, I got a great new documentary for you. Hey, what's up everyone? Paul from Grindhouse Funhouse. So many amazing documentaries are being produced right now on so many film genres. It's an embarrassment of riches, really. And this time around, we are going balls deep into the erotic thrillers of the 80s and 90s. That's right. Those movies were quite popular in the video store days. All of them direct-to-video, be it on VHS or some on fancy laser discs. Late-night cable TV was also where to catch them, be it on Cinemax, the Playboy Channel, or Showtime. Over 700 films were produced from 1985 to the year 2000, the erotic thriller genre, which today seems like a total forgotten world that once dominated, and that's where We Kill for Love comes in. A documentary that goes very deep, diving exhaustively, but in a good way, into this subgenre of sexy movies, its rise and fall, that is essential viewing for any perverts out there. And don't let its running time scare you. At 2 hours and 43 minutes, it's almost as long as Oppenheimer, but with way more bangs. So the way the documentary is set up is that we follow the archivist to narrate throughout, guiding us from one subject to the next, be it letting us know about one specific movie or talking about all the tropes we see in them, things like overhead fans, lots of candles, billowing curtains, and locations those movies are set up in, like big white Los Angeles mansions, neon-lit upscale strip clubs, moonlit alleys and loft apartments in urban warehouses. Those are staples of erotic thrillers. Intercut that with a lot of talking heads that knows their shit. Published authors on the subject, experts on erotic thrillers, which is not a bad gig if you can get it. They have very insightful things to say. We also get many interviews with the actors and directors who were producing all this sexy filth for our pleasure. Key players like Kiera Reed, Jody Fisher, Athena Massey, Tane Mclure, Monique Parent, Doug Jeffery, Andrew Stevens on the acting side, and directors like Olen Jim Wynorski, and Lawrence Lanoff. Speaking about directing, this was directed by Anthony Penta, who also wrote, produced, edited, and does the smooth narration throughout as well. He spent the better part of 6 years putting all this together, which clearly was a massive undertaking, so tip of the hat to you, good sir. Production design-wise, he gave it the look and feel of being inside an erotic thriller, which I appreciated. Here's a few things you'll learn while watching Kill for Love, the most famous erotic thrillers in the 80s, and the templates for what came after during the late 80s, early 90s erotic thriller boom. You got Body Heat, Dress to Kill, Fatal Attraction, 9.5 Weeks. Then, of course, Basic Instinct in 1992 was also a big turning point in the erotic thriller genre. You also get a bit of history on 40s film noir and gothic romance literature, where some of the OG tropes came from. The documentary does focus on a few movie titles and go more in-depth, talking with the director or actors in them. Talents like Kiera Reed, Tane Mclure, Andrew Stevens will talk about their experiences making those movies and the movie business during that period of time. It will go into things like when is it art and when is it porn, or how it was the first time a lot of those movies were marketed to a female audience, movies that didn't gross them out, but titillated them body and mind, or in the end, what happened to the erotic thrillers, what killed it. And this is barely scratching the surface. It's also about preservation. We barely talk about these movies today, which feels like a totally different era. And that was only, 30, 35 years ago? And sure, a network like Lifetime still airs those kinds of movies today, but it's not the same thing. This documentary makes it clear that it's due for a reappraisal, and Blu-ray boutique labels like Vinegar Syndrome or 7 Films should start releasing these movies, because I feel like there's definitely a market for it. Just the sheer amount of movies talked about in We Kill for Love is quite impressive. You'll definitely get more than a few titles that you'll add to your Letterboxd watch list. I mean, just for me alone, I've rediscovered movies like Night Eyes, Animal Instincts, The Finishing Touch, Possessed by the Night, Malicious, which starred Molly Ringwald in her one and only erotic thriller, which now I am compelled to seek out and rewatch again. Might be a different experience watching them now versus when I was 14, 15. Also think about all those Shannon Tweed movies, probably the most recognizable star of the genre, from whom I would have loved to hear her take on her experiences making those movies, but sadly she is not featured in We Kill for Love, which if there's one complaint I guess I could say is that she's not in it, but I'm sure there was a perfectly good reason for it. With a documentary's running time being this long, you would think it would lag or get dull at some point, but I'm here to say that it doesn't. It's very well produced, keeps you engaged, there's some pizzazz to it. There's even a few funny passages, like how one movie could be retitled so many times for different markets. There's a funny visuals in the end credits if you pay attention when they list Andrew Stevens' name to something he spoke about earlier, which cracked me up. Can the normies out there who might have heard about these movies and were curious to find out more about them get into it? They certainly can. It's not strictly for cinephiles like me and you that could sit through a 3, 4, 6 hours documentary like this without breaking a sweat. It's for the whole family. It is available to watch right now on VOD. You can also pre-order the Blu-ray through Vinegar Syndrome. Yellow Veil Pictures, who's releasing We Kill for Love, is one of their partners' labels. It's only limited to 1,000 copies. And as of this video's posting, Vinegar Syndrome is having a Labor Day weekend sale, so I would get to purchasing it right away. If you don't want to miss out on the precious slipcover, a standard edition will be available as well. So yeah, I highly recommend for you to watch We Kill for Love. Check out all my socials at Grindhouse Funhouse. In the comment section below, let me know your thoughts on We Kill for Love. And also let me know what is your favorite erotic thriller that gets you all hot and bothered in your nether regions. Oh yeah, I'd really like to know. More reviews of documentaries and movies coming up soon. So stay tuned. Thanks for watching, and I'll say to you, ciao bye for now.